What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tarantula. I'm Leah, and today I've got a really cool video. I've got another rehouse, but this time it's of a really cool tarantula, the nhandu chromatus, also known as the Brazilian white and red. As you can see, my friend Artemis is trying to put me to sleep for some reason. She usually isn't so feisty about it. But I'm okay, I can breathe. I don't think she's just comfortable here, I promise. She is a 2-year-old ball python who I absolutely adore. And I think she likes me too. Because as you can see, she's not constricting. She's just hanging out. Such a good girl. Alright, enjoy the rehouse. Thanks so much for watching. Here we go. Alright, let's get into it. As you can see, I have the new enclosure here. I am putting a little substrate down, and I'm going to be moistening that substrate as well because this tarantula does need a little bit of humidity, not a ton. Alright, so let's talk about the nhandu chromatus. The nhandu chromatus is a beautiful, big 6 to 7.5 diagonal leg span, big, beautiful tarantula. This tarantula comes from Brazil, in the southern portion, a little closer to Argentina. So not really the tropical region, definitely a subtropical region, probably a little bit of scrublands, very hot, but the forest is not quite as dense, so there's a little less for this tarantula to hide under in the wild. They also like to burrow, but mostly a terrestrial species, so they will kind of just hang out and be a really, really cool display tarantula. I definitely think this is one of my favorite display tarantulas just for those colorations. They're very, very striking with the pretty white knees and that red abdomen, making them a very pretty tarantula. Now, as you can see, I'm about to put some foliage into this enclosure. Foliage essentially provides the tarantula with anchor points for its webbing. So Rainbow, our nhandu chromatus here, is going to lay down a web mat that will allow this tarantula to know exactly when a prey item or another insect, maybe even a mate tarantula, has come anywhere near their burrow or the spots where they have laid down that web mat. It's actually quite fascinating the way that they use their setae and their hairs all over their body to feel the air, temperature changings, barometric changes, creatures coming into their vicinity. They can actually feel the air or like the wind that your hand might make if you were to swipe it back and forth very quickly. So yeah, a tarantula can pick up any and all of those movements in the air and their environment, not only through their web but also through those beautiful setae. And as you can see, I'm just finishing up putting all this foliage here. I do think that my nhandu chromatus is really going to enjoy this enclosure, and that is probably the best part of building enclosures for me, is seeing the tarantula using it exactly how I would expect them to use it and really, really holding on to it, as you will see Rainbow do here in just a moment. Rainbow is kind of a stubborn little thing and didn't want to come out of her burrow at that moment. So you can see, I had to actually ended up having to remove the cork round that I put into that jar there so that I could get a better angle at poking Rainbow out of that jar and into her new enclosure. She definitely was not a fan of it. But I did get her into her new enclosure successfully. She didn't get hurt, and everybody is safe. It's only been about 2 weeks since she's been in her new enclosure since I'm recording this and actually about to drop it on YouTube, right? But it's only been about 2 weeks, so she hasn't really made a huge dent in that web making. But I know, given a little bit of time, I will see those beautiful web mats start to show up. Just like another beautiful tarantula that I probably will be rehousing very, very soon, if not next video, the one after. So stay tuned. She's a fan favorite for sure. I can't wait to rehouse her. We'll see what kind of fun little gimmicks she gives for us. As you can see, Rainbow is hanging out in her new enclosure, getting familiar, probably a little uncomfortable with like the earth moving and stuff, but she's fine. And there you have it, the nhandu chromatus. Alright, everybody, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me rehouse the nhandu chromatus and giving little husbandry tips there as well. What a cool spider. One of my favorites just because they are so colorful. They have those really pretty white knees and the red setae on their abdomen. Very, very cool. And as you can see, I was easily able to get Artemis from around my neck because she is a very, very sweet little girl, and I have never had a problem with her ever trying to kill me, so thank goodness. I have socialized her from a young age, but that is a video for another time. Again, as always, like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Tarantula.